So our customers are publishers. So we have big brands like New York Times, Washington Post, and we also, our customers are simultaneously end users, so people who just browse the internet. So I think we do two things. We do user tests regularly, so we try to bring in users from Craigslist. We invite people in, we pay them, we give them Jamba Juice cards, and we get feedback on the product. And then in terms of publishers, I'd say we don't do as much as we would like, in part because during our product development cycles, we're a little bit more secretive about what we're doing until we're ready to go out the door. But we actually recently hired a community manager whose full-time job it is to seed our early beta users with a product. So it's early beta publishers, so not the New York Times, but small blogs. And seed them with the software, give them basically some period of time to use it, and then we have these surveys that determine product market fit, and we try to do that relatively. We've sort of assigned one person to do that full time. But if you ask me that as an entrepreneur starting the company, we didn't do anything like that. We literally developed the thing in a vacuum, and 3 months after we started the company, flew out to the Washington Post and showed it to the folks there, and then had kind of an ongoing cycle for about 6 months before we launched, where during the time that they were configuring their servers to run our software, we actually just communicated with them about once every 2 weeks and got feedback on developing the product as we were sort of preparing to ship it. It's very odd, actually, because we basically sold a product and they'd agreed to buy before it was actually ready. So for the next 6 months, we sort of co-developed it and got feedback on what to make it. But I think we have a unique strategy. So.
I think the first step is, as specifically as possible, define exactly who your customer is, and a lot of more consumer-y internet startups face that challenge. And I mean specific, like feel free to give them a name, give them a job, give them every attribute you can come up with for them, and then figure out, okay, where would Bob, say my customer, hang out online, and how do I find him there? And so we spent a lot of time, because when we were just getting started, our customers were small businesses or freelancers, people who were, yes, using it in a business mindset, but really weren't big businesses because we had no hopes of convincing them to use the product at that point. So they behaved like consumers, and they are also just on the internet reading stuff, so we tried to find where they hang out. And it was a lot of posting in forums, trying to get the blogs that they might read to write about us. We did a bit of Google AdWords simply to bring in people to the site so we could look at where were they clicking around, what were they interested in, what were they reading. And so it's really just, it's a long process, it's very difficult, and I don't think we learned any magical secrets through it. It's just a lot of work posting everywhere you can online and trying to get people to come to your site.
I guess I would definitely agree with everything they said, and just add that the underlying philosophy here as a takeaway is you want to be scrappy, you want to be really opportunistic, you're going to have a strategy for how to get that customer, and then when you're randomly seeing someone in a coffee shop, you want to bring up the company and pitch them on your product as well. Because as a startup, you, again, have only limited amounts of time in the day and resources to go contact these potential customers, and you never know where that conversation might lead. So it should always be kind of on your mind. It's a big part of your life.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more with Josh. For us, it's probably been three things. One is the book. So turns out writing a book is a really great way to generate leads. And it just so happened that the book came out just as Facebook was taking off. And so it's been really top of mind for a lot of businesses and people that we want to really target for our business. And so far, just about all of our customers and everyone in our pipeline has come through either the book or they heard me speak while I was on my book tour. So that's been great. So if any of you want to write a book, I highly recommend it. And then the second way has been, especially since our product is really geared towards social media, we've used Facebook and Twitter and those technologies to really reach out to people and find people who are already talking about the things that you're selling. They describe a problem on Twitter, anybody can search that, and you can respond with your solution. You obviously don't want to go in with a hard sales pitch, but if you can genuinely help them, then I think, in many cases we've seen, they're genuinely grateful. And then the third one, just like Josh said, is anywhere and anyhow, in any way that you can. One of our vertical groups that we're going after are real estate agents. So you better believe that every single realtor who's put up a sign with their phone number or their email address in my neighborhood, I've contacted. And so you just, when you're walking around, you'll see people who might be interested in what you have to sell or might be interested in giving you feedback. And it's all about starting to talk to them and being genuinely curious in what their problems are.
And I also literally have met customers in bars and on a ski lift and with kids. So it is, like Josh said, anywhere you are, you're talking about your product because you're kind of obsessed with it, it turns out. Some people react well to that. Some people don't. But we like the ones that react well to it.